Good morning, fellow Ambazonians. Today, na Tuesday, number 7 day for the month of February 2023. My name na Capo Daniel. I am the Deputy Defense Chief and the Anti-Kidnapping Czar of the Ambazonian Defense Forces and the spokesperson of the Ambazonian Governing Council, the Egg of Sea, aka Sense Pass King. Lukong, una own countryman, Ambazonian FBI. Una welcome to our daily podcast, a program where we bring una the truth, we bring una meaningful information, fact-based analysis for help we as we work for this journey to our freedom, the independence of Ambazonia. Good people of Ambazonia, as they talk, for he way much it can be given, much it be expected. As we don't pass this country Sunday, we don't day for number 7 day, where it be now just 4 more day them before we enter for the day of mourning, the day of catastrophe, calamity, or whatever name you go call them, for 11th of February, the plebiscite day. A day where Ambazonia was deceived in an election for sample the opinion of our people for a question that was marred with injustice, whether for us to choose to join Nigeria or La Republic. Ambazonians were deceived by a conspiracy to undermine our use of self-determination, to use our right as a people, instead to express our will and desire that had already been expressed. For independence, we were manipulated to choose between two evils. The double jeopardy of this 11th February, it is also that even for that misplaced and diluted exercise of our right of self-determination, it was even transformed to be made a mockery that a plebiscite day was now changed by the occupier, the annexer, La République du Cameroon, into a youth day. Called a day that the people of Ambazonia exercise the right of a people, of a state to determine its future, as a day of a youth, a day that the National Guard would not even be worthy to take guard in the stadiums for march past. To call the plebiscite day a youth day is the height of mockery and insult to the dignity, the sovereignty, and the personality of Ambazonia and us as a people. So on this 11th of February, we are called on all our citizens to sit at home, stay home, observe a stay-home protest to reject La République du Cameroon. And it will be a time for our forces to launch attacks against the occupation forces, who usually seize upon this day to make propaganda march past, to parade themselves across our territory. We know that in some areas, like in the middle, the center of Nkambe, where Ngala have used the virus of corruption to poison the mind of our people, we call on the children and sons and daughters of the Wimbum tribe not to abandon the center of Nkambe in the hands of this vampire that seeks to poison the soul of our people against their own aspiration and their own delivery from slavery. All Ambazonians across the 13th state of Ambazonia and our districts are expected to do nothing but to stay at home to demonstrate a complete rejection. Our cities and towns must be ghosted on this day. For as we said, for those that much have been given, much will be expected. The Ambazonian people and the leaderships there be have given a lot of trust with the reversal of the complete boycott of school as we had protests within La République du Cameroon. Now that we have turned towards our own self, for independence to mean independence, for us to take upon the primary responsibility of education, now that we have approved the community schools as the way forward, we will be asking on all community schools, the Catholic schools, the Baptist, the Presbyterian, the private schools that have been authorized to operate in Ambazonia as community schools with Ambazonian authority and guidelines, to make sure that no of their students should be used in this propaganda. Any school in Ambazonia that will be used in 11 February propaganda, the teachers and the staff members, the proprietors of those schools will be held personally responsible. There will be personally responsibility on those actions. We don't expect any schools to be open during the last days of this week. Most of our schools in certain strategic states have already been closed for the week to avoid being misused for La Republique propaganda to suppress the aspiration of our people. And we call on our students to stay at home and avoid going out on this day, 11 February. There will be increased attack on the enemy, and specific border crossing have already been closed in Ambazonia. So we are asking on our people to stay vigilant. There will be lockdown as well that have been declared by some other sister groups, but the Ambazonian governing councils and our forces that collaborate with us will be carrying out increased operations during these days. So it is a day that everybody should stay at home. The advisory against traveling is in force, and we are very happy to see that our people have heed to that advice. And on Tuesday, there was a massive cut in traffic in between Ambazonia and La Republique to Cameroon, and that should control throughout the week. In other news, as we have advised, our people should avoid amber to amber confrontation. We have learned that 2 Ambazonian forces around the Ndop area have fallen, and their dead body was exposed on the streets by the enemy. This is unfortunate. After coming through a 3 weeks where Cameroon, the occupation forces have lost over 38 of its members, this is not acceptable, and we call for continued vigilance and for our people to monitor the situation. We are very happy that our advice have been heeded and there have been no direct confrontation despite the call for such things to happen. We continue to call on both forces to show restraint and focus on the common enemy. In another news, Grand Kumba, Chris Ano, as una know, he organization done finish already the collapse. If una know one of that girl where they be the column, say Jezebel, the pastor from hell, where be wake up one time, the talk say Mrs. Seko die for prison. That girl, he don't come out, he say no day again for Chris Ano. He too, he won't come out, he drop na some big lie about money where they spend, and we all know say Chris Ano, he never spend a dime. He focus now for a TV channel for build a media empire, and he don't persuade and settle from CDC. Nevertheless, he show which word and the talk. The organization are just a media outlet, and a few of his friends them within there around he. So he organization before, but the president of the governing council, Dr. Chua Yaba, he don't talk say make no personally rejoice if some other group it finish. That one no be anything for glad, but we must focus for bygones and make sure so organize ourselves.
Chris Ano faction has collapsed. It has collapsed. Maria has collapsed because collapse has consequences of international security and peace. We should note that the collapse of the IG hardly benefits the EGOC in their different factions stable was a drawback, but it provided some sense of command and control, however loose. Now, what you should be expecting is that all of these forces that were under their command and control will become renegade. Increases the confusion, but at a different level, even more threatening level. So while we may rejoice and to see the end of some of these people, we must know that we have a lot in our hands. That's why sometimes when you people see me pushing, it's because there are key indicators that I'm observing. The level of peripheral threat on the ADF, and where different groups, where one or two are gathered, will be emerging to attempt to replace the disappearing ones. You start facing new challenges without key intelligence on how to deal with them. So I want you people to mobilize more resources.
That was a statement made to the Ambazonian Governing Council community by the leader, the president of the Governing Council, Dr. Cho Lucas Ayaba, cautioning that there have been loose sense of control, and each time a group melts away or get dismantled, there is a problem with that sense of absence of that loose control, however it may be. And we also call on our people to continue, as the leader have said, to equip our soldiers more, to prepare them more, and to build them more. We'll continue to advise forces to collaborate with established constituted organizations that can provide proper leadership guidance, and also to help them to integrate them into a nationalist agenda for the freedom of Ambazonia. Also, fellow Ambazonian, the Governing Council is announcing a German tour of Dr. Cho Lucas Ayaba, the leader of our War of Liberation, will be visiting Germany on the 18th of this month of March 2023. The possible arriving airport will be in Osnabrück International Airport on this day. Details will be provided for the European tour by the president of the Ambazonian Governing Council. He will be touring many cities in Europe to meet the Governing Council missions and the Ambazonian people and our various community, to engage them for the mobilization of resources, updates of our liberation struggle, and a more chance for the leader to meet the people. Cameroon is collapsing. It's in a crumbling stage. Prices are going up. There are now even news that there have been indications that there will also be rise in prices for telephone data. Data for telephone will also be going up by 15%. The country is coming to a free fall. Infighting is multiplying. It has become physical, deadly, assassination, detention, and many more. We'll be giving you more details on the Ambazonian Communication Network and the ramification it has on our liberation struggle, and how Ambazonia can maximize the benefit from this. We also want to announce to our people that the fire department have continued their activity. The fire department have visited 2 sites in La République du Cameroon in Douala, and the good news is that the people in Douala have also smeared the burning of their own in places. So the fire department had visited a business premises in Bonamosadi, with the call on all Ambazonian fighters within there for inside La République, say me they integrate themselves for make sure so they carry out sabotage activity for help for precipitate the collapse of La République. We must bring down the economy. We must bring that, and we must do more. We have slowed down for this past month because of the prevailing and expected winds that were blowing. It is now over, and it's time for us to do our job properly. La République must come down. We must bring them to their knee. Capo Daniel, signing off.